Hello and welcome to Rosalora. If this is your first time visiting the channel, it's so lovely to meet you. And if you're returning, it's so wonderful to have you back. My name is Rosa. I'm a digital artist, and today I'm working on a kit bash of Ariel and Jasmine. When I saw this page of Ariel in this beautifully gorgeous, very fancy set with oysters and pearls, I knew immediately that I wanted to do something with her. I wanted her to give this pearl to someone, and that someone ended up being Jasmine. I I love fancy outfits and clothes, and I love sparkly little jewels and all sorts of nice things. So putting these two together with their lovely, lovely outfits just made complete sense to me. Something that I don't want to say I have beef with, but something in the Disney art style which can be hard is that everybody kind of has really similar noses, and those noses are pretty small. So you'll see that both Ariel and Jasmine, I've switched up their noses a little bit. I made Ariel's nose just a little bit bigger, and for Jasmine's, I wanted for the shape of her nose to be a bit more visually obvious. Now, Ariel took a lot of work. In fact, honestly, both of them took a lot of work on this kit bash, especially when it came to their line art. Now, Ariel didn't actually have full line art on the right-hand side. The sleeve, the arm, the other side of her hair, it just wasn't on the page. So we had to make that up as we went along. And Jasmine, she has a lot of these nice little details, but the line weight, because there isn't a lot of variation in line weight on her original line art, I had to go back and do a lot of adjustment, especially on the clothes. And I don't begrudge that. Going and making those changes to help make a piece really unique and fun is one of my favorite parts of kit bashing. Sometimes I just worry that it isn't the most interesting to watch. But I think that the folds in Jasmine's clothes, especially, which you see me doing here, is one of the coolest parts of this kit bash because I think it adds so much movement to the piece. Now, all of my pictures that I use for kit bashing, as far as I know, just come from official Disney books, and I try to make sure to link back my sources. I do a lot of searching on Pinterest for my pages, but in the case that something doesn't seem to be, like just from a regular Disney book, I will always link back to it. Which is the case for Jasmine. I think that originally she was just from a book and she got customized by somebody else with the name behind her. So I just tried to make sure that I made that obvious. The background here is from Princess and the Frog, from the scene where Ray goes and is with Evangeline in the sky, which I think is a really beautiful shot. And through the course of putting together this kit bash, I kind of realized, oh, like, I feel like this is just like a marriage proposal. At first, I thought maybe Ariel was like a princess from a foreign land who came to impress Jasmine and, maybe like show off, or like, oh, we're here for like a trade agreement, or I'd like to have some diplomatic relations. But the more that I worked on this piece and really spruced it up and did all these lighting effects, I was like, no, I think this is actually a marriage proposal. I think that these two are just on a romantic date and they are 100% going to get married to each other. Something that I did differently in this speed paint is I actually forgot to do the colored line art until almost the very end. Usually that's one of the things that I do before all the really intense shading, but I think I was just so locked in to the shading on Ariel's dress, and I went straight to Jasmine and I skipped over that colored line art completely. So I had to go back and correct everything. And even after that, I forgot to get Ariel's pearls on the upper right side of her head and the top of her oyster crown. So I had to go back for those as well, if you can believe it. But they look so gorgeous, and I think that they are very much in love. I hope that they have a beautiful wedding, probably at the ocean or maybe on a boat like in the original Little Mermaid, but I think that they're going to have a great time, and I think that they're so in love, these two princesses. I want to thank my patrons that help me make art, but especially Banjo, Confogle Clips, Deator, and Fire Pit. You guys are the best. And of course, thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see something else from me, there's a video on the screen. And if you like what I do, you can support me on Patreon. And remember, it's all gonna be okay. See you next time.